Go for it.
Hello, Nick. So thanks for agreeing to talk about your experience a little bit and to answer a couple of questions. To begin, what inspired you to begin coaching sessions with me? And what specific challenges or goals were you hoping to address by participating?
Well, specifically for myself, thanks for having me on the call.
Mhm.
Specifically for myself, my wife has been going through coaching and I've seen transformation for her. We obviously I get to sit next to her and understand a little bit what the outcomes have been for her,
Mhm.
and her desire to kind of level up her game and a realization that I kind of need to be doing that as well. Um, I lived most of my life being fairly scattered and not with direction. And a realization that I kind of wanted to join her on the journey of going through coaching and seeing what I could get out of it.
Excellent. During our initial work, we used a few tools. So I'll jog your memory. You developed a long-term vision, right? That 25-year vision. You chose to focus on four core pillars. We did some time blocking and we created space for reflection and checking in on those goals. So, how did these tools help you gain clarity about your ultimate goal and about gaining more direction in your life?
The thing for me was the long-term vision was the one that kind of started setting everything on the path. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I work day in, day out. I think about work. I think about making sure the bills get paid. I think about anything else except what is it that I actually want out of life and where's it going. At the end of the day, just even sitting down and talking with you through those ideas of what is actually my long-term vision, asking those very specific questions. Where do I see myself in 5 years, 25 years? Who do I see myself with there? What are we doing? Just I never stopped to ask those questions. And the moment that I realized that I was doing that and we were kind of just laying the groundwork for everything going forward, I realized it was kind of like, oh, I'm missing out on a lot of life. I'm missing out on a lot of direction that I want to achieve instead of just, running flat without any kind of a direction in terms of where it is I want to achieve in my life or
Yeah.
how I want to get there. So, like all of that, all those tools together afterwards, helping to run in the direction that I want to go with the people that I want to is just been a significant factor for me in terms of my growth.
Thank you so much, Nick. Yeah, that long-term vision is so key. And when I started doing this work, it was the game changer for me too. I never thought where I'm going to be in 25 years. So thank
Yeah,
you for
no doubt.
what are some of the most significant wins or breakthroughs that you've experienced in your life, in your work life, in your inner life since starting this work with me?
One of the big ones for me specifically has been perspective. Perspective on a balance of my work, balance of my family, balance of my priorities. Um, I've been going through a significant amount of stress and work. Just being able to put it into perspective in light of everything that I have going on in life. Life is busy, you know, three daughters, wife, house construction, all at the same time. Boss who needs work done, and it all is there. It's all part of life, and
Mhm.
they have to be properly balanced. Um, Dealing with my anxiety in that way has actually been fairly significant in it, when I deal with work with something in one part of my life, it spills out into others in terms of seeing benefits.
For sure. So that's been a win for you, is kind of managing the anxiety around that.
Oh yeah.
That's good to hear. How would you describe the level of support that I've provided with you during these sessions? And what is this work like compared to any other work that you may have done where you're working with another professional?
Um, one of the things that I've really come to realize is that I do need accountability in my life, accountability to someone else, to be talking with someone else. When we sit down and we talk together, besides uh, besides saying that we need to work through things, the
Yeah.
only person that I'm generally accountable to in some way, shape, and form is my wife on a daily basis. I have to, I have to work through her with a bunch of things. But when we talk about trying to achieve goal setting,
Yeah.
coming to the realization of the changes that I want to make, I need someone else who is going through that, who has gone through that, who realizes that it needs to happen. So the accountability between you and me, be able to
Mhm.
just say, okay, what have we actually done? What do we need to do? Where are
Mhm.
you at this week?
Mhm.
Have you hit the targets that you intended to hit?
Yeah.
It's something that I know that it has to be done on a more consistent basis and
Yep.
without being able to work with you. That had been a challenge before previously, so it's been really good for me.
Thank you, Nick. And we chatted in our most recent session about how you would even appreciate more of that because that is really like that's such a big benefit of working with a coach. Okay.
Correct.
Where do you think you would be today if you hadn't started this work?
Be on same course of action that I've been on previously. I
Mhm.
like, don't get me wrong, the journey is long. It's not like I've a changed man entirely. It takes time, it takes effort continuously. Things have to be more consistent.
Mhm.
And I just don't know. I'd be a little bit more lost. My wife would be a little bit more upset. My kids would be a little bit more angry with me. I'd be for I'm still behind on my deadlines, but
Yeah.
that's life. Putting things in perspective.
Mhm.
It's hard to say because once you start moving forward in a new direction, where would I be? I'd be in the same old place.
Yeah. Thanks, Nick. What hesitations do men and engineers specifically typically have about seeking this type of help or this type of support?
I would say that there's probably two elements. The first off is, especially coming from the engineering background,
Mhm.
yeah, most men follow some level of technical slash non-emotional
Mhm.
level of communication, lifestyle, even whatever their field of work is. I'm an
Mhm.
engineer. I'm not a therapist working through things with people. I don't talk about things with people. Uh, that's probably a stereotype for most engineers.
Most
I
men.
Yeah, most men, and and that really is that hesitation that even those beliefs, those ideas, even if they're not necessarily as widely held nowadays, people joke about it. I mean, men don't talk about their feelings. Well, realistically, everyone knows they need to have a conversation with
Yeah.
someone, and having it in a even a setting where it's not, I need to go to a therapist or something
Mhm.
like that. I just need to sit down and kind of reorient and ask the questions of another man. And most people don't sit down and take the opportunity to do that. So that's something that's been significant that I realize that sets me at least apart now compared to where I was previously. Yeah. Um, I think those are just long held beliefs that people need to get rid of and realize that it is good to be able to talk to someone, and especially in the way that we have.
That leads beautifully into our final question here. So you've partially answered it, but what would you say to other fathers and specifically engineers or leaders of companies when it comes to considering the type of work that we've done and working with me in particular? Could you
Uh,
recommend this experience and why?
I'd recommend the experience. Most people hesitate or they're a little bit scared. The one thing I would say is, dip your toe in the water. Um, you don't know where it will take you. So I imagine that for some people it doesn't work, or they don't want to, or they don't want even, I say, the accountability to another person. But what it does realistically for, say, someone like me in my organization is it gives me a better ability to get my work done. Um, I would say that for people who realistically, you want to change something, just start by reaching out and just having the conversation first. Being able to work with Pavel has been fantastic for me. Being able to work with you has been fantastic for me. And just realizing that, uh, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And so just that has been that for me, and just moving forward on that. And I do recommend it for anyone who is willing to take that first step.
I appreciate your honesty, Nick, and I appreciate the energy that you brought towards our work, and I hope that we can continue working in the future. It's been my pleasure, my privilege.
No doubt. Thanks so much.